But increasingly, in western Oklahoma and throughout the southern plains, the focus was almost exclusively on wheat. When the Great War broke out in Europe, German blockades cut off access to Russian wheat. In the United States, farmers mobilized to feed the Allies. Under the slogan, "Wheat will win the war," prices were set at $2 a bushel, twice the previous rate. In 5 years, more than 11 million acres of virgin soil were plowed for the first time, an area twice the size of New Jersey, converted from grasslands to wheat fields. When the war ended, wheat prices dropped, but the plowing and planting only increased. It would come to be called the Great Plow-Up.
If you had been a wheat farmer in the 1920s, it would have been relatively easy to make money. You needed less land to grow wheat than you needed to run cattle, so the investment was less. I had a farmer tell me that you just put seed in the ground and boom, you had a crop.
It was really advertised all over the nation as the place to come and live in the 20s. Oh, it was green, level, and pretty, and the grass was beautiful. We had tall grass, and I remember running barefooted along in this ditch, which was big clods of cool, damp ground.
Imogene Glover's family had moved to a 3-room house on land in Texas County, Oklahoma, not far from Caroline and Will Henderson. Her father raised cattle, turkeys, and especially wheat.
He was a gambler, but I think every farmer's a gambler. They have to gamble that what they're putting into the ground is going to grow and produce, and they'll get better off. They always feel that way if they're a farmer.
In the southwestern corner of Kansas, Edgar Cohen had taken over 160 acres from a failed homesteader. At first, he moved his wife, Rena, and their children into a 1-room, 10 by 12-foot dugout that extended only 2.5 feet above the ground, with small windows to let in a little light. As the family grew, Edgar added more rooms, then an above-ground entrance big enough to double as a kitchen. By scrimping and saving, he was able to acquire 160 more acres and build a barn for his livestock.
Oh, it was real nice. Summertime was pretty balmy. Always cooled off good at night. A lot of times we would sleep out underneath the trees or something like that. It was a really good atmosphere. Of course, there's always been an arid country, you know. It never has been lots of rain, but it was a really ideal place to raise a family.
For the first time in their family history, most of these people owned a piece of dirt. They were Scots-Irish who had been kicked around the old Confederacy. They were so-called poor white trash. There were these Germans from the Russian steppe. There were Latinos who came up from the South. They were folks that never owned anything. And they had wonderful years, 10, 12, 15, where everything was right.